Yesterday was December 14th, and I know I have a lot of followers from all different places. If you do not know what that day is, for a lot of like everyone in Connecticut and surrounding states, no, but it was the 10th year anniversary of the 26 people, 20, I believe, children, 6 adults who died in a crazy school shooting, Sandy Hook Elementary School 10 years ago. And I wanted to give a little bit of the story of like my day 10 years ago, because I remember very clearly what happened. I was not in that school, but I happened to live fairly close to that school. Like, I knew that town. Very, very safe town. And like people I danced with lived in that town. And 10 years ago, I happened to be chosen. My dance studio was doing a small, like, half production of the Nutcracker, not the whole thing, for school districts in the area, which, what a blessing in disguise, because these school districts, schools, elementary schools, were not at their school at this time during the day. And I was at this theater at the time of the shooting. This crazy, very mentally insane young man whose name is not going to be mentioned because I'm not giving him that, time of day, went into Sandy Hook Elementary School and shot up the school. And so we were in an area where the theater, it's very big and it's very expansive with the downstairs. It's a very famous theater. It's actually the Waterbury Palace Theater in Connecticut. And I was very lucky to dance there for many years as Clara in the Nutcracker. And there was very terrible phone service. So we were downstairs and you didn't have phone service, nothing. You'd have to go outside if there was anything important. So first of all, nobody knew of anything that was happening, which we normally would in general. If we were out and about, you'd be getting all these, emergent things on your phone. Like, my high school went into lockdown. I wasn't in school that day because I was there during school day hours to give this performance to a bunch of these young children, which thank goodness weren't in their schools during this day, because they would have been in lockdown. And it's just crazy. And when they timed out, when the actual crime took place, I believe it happened around 11 o'clock something. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But I timed it out to realizing that when this massacre was happening in a town I know well, and nothing like this has ever happened before. I actually happened to be dancing on stage. I was dancing on stage, living my dream and my life and what I love to do while this crazy thing was happening. And people only found out much afterwards, when the show was way over, or people were coming to pick up their kids and buses were coming, and they had phone service. And I remember my mom was actually sick and she was in the hospital. She couldn't, my best friend's mom brought me there and brought me, supposedly we were supposed to be home, but she didn't bring me home. I ended up going to her house, and she was just like all in a panic. And I remember we were like, my best friend, her name is Anna, and her little sister Erin, we were in the show together, and everyone was kind of like what's going on? Like, they weren't telling like the younger kids this. Everyone was like panicked and didn't know what to do, and just like frozen. And she was just like come on, like, girls, let's go, like, put your stuff away fast, like, we're getting in the car. And it was kind of like, why are we so rushed? Like, come on, we want to take pictures, we want to do this, take our time. And I remember her driving home, and she had like this look on her face, and I just kept looking over at my friend like what is wrong with her? Like, what is up? And she wouldn't like say anything, and she just had like, and she was just like driving, not like crazy fast or anything, but like on a mission, and getting us home, and like not saying anything to us because she didn't want to say it in front of right now in front of her daughter, who was 5 years younger than us, so she was just 10 at the time. And just everything was so crazy. And so every year, I mean, it's a huge thing. Connecticut, it's like one of the biggest things ever, and it's just this huge school shooting that no one would ever expect. And I happened to be dancing on stage doing my favorite thing ever, 6 and 7 year olds, and some adults were being deadly shot. And it was just, I mean, if you want to learn more about it, if you haven't learned about this, everyone should know, Sandy Hook shooting, December 14th, 2014. So I just wanted to share a little about what happened on that day for me, and that the 10th anniversary of the Sandy Hook shooting was yesterday. And that's about it. Grateful and thankful to be safe, and to not be in my school scared to death and locked down on that day.